Hello, everyone, and welcome to Get Folked. Ho, ho, ho. Ho, ho, ho. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Get Folked, a casual listening podcast anchored in our love of folk music, but with enough slack on the line to take you into the worlds we live in Berlin, Limerick, and sometimes beyond. Not living anymore, but being present in other worlds. We like to be present. My name is Andrew.
Yeah, my name's Edward. Welcome back. We're back in our normal habitat, I suppose, after our little journey through the roads of North Tipperary last week. And if you want to catch us anywhere, subscribe to Substack. That would really help the podcast. And then you can catch us on Substack itself, or on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify. And you can follow us on Instagram and on Facebook. Yeah, welcome to this week. We're back a bit more of a normal.
Yeah, thank you.
Normal
very much.
Episode.
Thank you very much as well for piecing together last week's, which I will open, as you know. Full disclosure, I have not heard or listened to, so I have no idea how it all went for you or the listener themselves. Were you happy with it?
Yeah, it went fine. Yeah, I think it was pretty good, you know.
Was there much did you have much of a job piecing it all together, given the disjointed nature of the recording?
There was a bit, and there was times where we were in the car and we were talking, and then we might have said something, or we're like, oh, probably shouldn't have said that. So there's a couple of instances of that. So it was good to have the opportunity. I mean, we would be terrible on a live broadcast, because we would just get all of the lawsuits, all of the angry emails, all of the.
It's not to say we've said anything lawsuit worthy, but just.
I think people would have a fair crack at it. They'd be like, "Here's some soft targets I can have a crack at a lawsuit at," and so we'll just give it another few years, and until we avoid the live broadcasts. Pre-recorded is our friend, I think.
Okay, nice. Can I ask, again? So, and I know people who listen to us regularly are just hearing me ask questions about what our podcast is about. What do you call it? Did you manage to keep the lady in the Ballinderry field? Did she get some airtime?
That was too embarrassing to cut out, so I left that in. I think all of that. But actually, for a finish, I had to get it in under the 60 minutes. So there was maybe a couple of seconds at the very end when we were driving out that I left out. But I think all of the interaction with that lovely lady, and she was a really lovely lady, were left in. And
understandably confused, lovely lady, but just very understandably confused.
She was dealing with very little information. And
just a sense of suspicion and mystery coming from these two gentlemen.
Yeah, it's like, I've been reading a lot about Russian spies. Are these guys Russian spies?
It was just so shady.
Are these guys AI? Are these guys AI drones? Is that why they're talking so fucking stupid?
Are you here for the game? Yeah, no,
but we will pay.
Can we come in? Stay under the radar. That's it. Just blend in. What do humans say in these?
Act human. She could have been nicer, and that all stayed in.
Absolutely, because she could have, and I know of many people in Ireland and all over the world who when you work a gate, it's not that when people work the gate they have to be kind of somewhat interested in what people are doing, but you're meeting a lot of people, you're having to do a lot of small talk, a lot of how's the weather, or going to be a good game, you have to, there's especially in Ireland, there's a little bit of back and forth in terms of kind of just
you're a fine big lad, you're playing midfield.
Niceties, exactly. or finding out who your father is or whatever, like, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So in fairness to her, she clearly thought we were there for a dogging session and didn't want to, embarrass us. We'd clearly come away as two lovers trying to, expand our sexual horizons, and she respected that.
I think her reading of the situation was this. It's like, these guys are clearly part of a dogging WhatsApp group, and nobody else likes them in the dogging group, so they got the information late. And so they've arrived completely late, or to the wrong location at the wrong time, or
certainly
both.
the wrong
Either way,
location when you're at an under 21 camogie family, like we definitely been duped by the other doggers.
So she believed
doggy duped, if you would. That we've been doggy duped.
So she was probably felt like she was witnessing some kind of internal bullying in the dogging community. And she was like, "There's no point in piling onto these guys because they're already having a bad morning."
No, there's a Netflix special coming out on the suffering of doggers. Doggy Dilemma, it's called. There's no end actually to the amount of the different. It's an 8-part series. You've got Doggy Dilemma,
Doggy Doo Doo,
Getting Down with Dogs. Yeah, there's a whole series. I don't want to. This is not we're not reviewing Netflix series here. So let's keep that. Yeah. Let's keep a little bit.
Save it for the writers' room.
For the doggy podcast that we do also now as well. It's an exclusive, just dogging podcast. We also talk about dogs, actually, actual dogs as well. So we've mixed both of them together to see if we can fuse.
Yeah. Which in hindsight was a mistake, actually. It's the worst of both worlds, really.
It really is. And our demographic is it's very hard to nail down. It's like,
people who really own dogs.
People, and
that's it.
That's it. But very different kinds of old people. Like, our demographic of old people is too. We need to funnel the old people into their specific categories, so they can get the right podcast.
Oh, fucking monetize them! I hear you. I hear what you're saying. So make some money.
Man, once we get those people on Patreon, cha-ching, pension pound. That's what I want. Yeah. Pension pound.
In fairness, one thing you can say about the people who dog. I mean, they're not risk averse. They will take a chance. So. That's good. That work in our favor, I think.
Absolutely.
To try a new podcast.
Going in with they call us in the dogging world. They call us Snake Eyes for many reasons. You can dive deep into that because it's the gambling, it's the risk you take with us, but also,
there's also biological reasons closely linked to an accident that we both had.
How are you, Edward?
Fine. Grand. I had an eventful week, actually. Yeah, no, it was good. I went to the dentist. That was which I was really scared about, actually. I was really bricking it about that.
We've had a episode recently where you told me about the dentist. You're not a fan. Not recently, but I think a while back. Yeah, but you got...
So I got a call back. I got the dreaded call back where it was like, you're going to have to come back and we want to do a bit more of an intensive work on that area there, And so I was dreading that. And then, so I went back, but it was great. I had nothing to worry about. Because I had a lot of dentist work when I was a kid and would have had a lot of anesthetics injections in the gums for all the work that I got done. So I've been a little bit apprehensive when it comes to getting those injections, to numb the gums. It was unbelievable. I didn't feel a thing. I don't know how she did it. Because normally you'd feel the little needle going in, but I didn't feel anything. Like absolutely nothing. It was so impressive. And so I had nothing to worry about. And the way she did the whole lot, she did everything was perfect. Didn't feel a thing. Couldn't recommend her high enough. But I'm not sure if she'd want me to recommend her. But anyway, she's very good. She lives close to me in Limerick.
And your teeth are on the way up now, so the problem has been averted, or the future problem that she was seeing.
Yeah, it's all good. All good now. So ready for all the mince pies I can stuff in my face
Hey,
for the next
hey.
2 weeks. Yeah, looking
Do
forward
you
to it.
like mince
Uh,
pies?
oh, I love them. Oh my god, I love them.
Do you?
I find it hard to pass one. Do you know it's a
With
problem actually?
even dry, you'd eat a mince pie dry, a dry mince pie, if you will.
I that your question suggests that there's a wet mince pie.
Well, more
Is that
so that like
correct?
I'm not a fan at all, really, of mince pies. As many people has tried to give them to me, the homemade mince pie. Like people are very proud of their homemade mince pie. I have in-laws that
Rightly so.
are yeah that take great pride in this time of year. Um, but without a big dollop of cream, I'm not really interested.
Okay.
Because I'm going. It's more for it's a carrier for the cream. It's like so I can have a big lump of cream and that bit of mince pie.
You see it as a cream delivery system.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
If you wouldn't mind. Yeah. Yeah.
No, I actually I very rarely eat it with cream.
You
A
see,
cup of tea and a mince pie.
just
Oh,
weird. It's just raisins, isn't it? Dates inside in it or something like that, or
I'll tell you. Here's what's weird. I don't know what you call it
yeah.
inside. Call the stuff inside
It's kind of
mince.
the
It's
goo.
not mince.
It's not mince, but I feel like there must be dates in it. It's kind of got that gooey, datey feel to it.
Mm.
Battling, but I
But I
actually
so I
don't
love
know.
mince pies. Yeah, well, I'm gonna have no problem chomping down on them anyway. That's for sure. Which I'm delighted about. And then it went to Damien Dempsey actually not last night,
Yeah.
night before last in
Saw that
Limerick.
in your calendar. All right,
Yeah,
gotta pick that
and
up.
it's
Where
going to
was
see
he
Damien
playing?
Dempsey. The Milk
Dolan's.
Market.
Oh, the milk market. Okay.
Yeah, I believe Dolan set it up. I think Dolan's use it as an external venue to their own location,
Ah,
and they
right.
bring our book acts there, and really good crowd at it. And I missed the support act though. To be honest, I'm doing them an injustice now because I can't even remember what the name was. But we had met up with friends who we don't normally get to socialize with, and so we kind of pushed that to the brink, of time wise, and then we just went in and we caught Damien Dempsey. He was so good. He was brilliant, and I did have a few recordings, but they didn't actually turn out very well. So, but like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's Damien Dempsey. I mean, you can find a recording of Damien Dempsey there, but his voice. We've spoken about his voice before. Like his voice has gotten, like as I've said before, has gotten better and better. He's unbelievable,
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
and
Yeah. Yeah.
he just gives everything. I mean, we were there, and like it's a cold venue, like especially like in the middle of December. It's quite a cold venue, and you could see him up on stage. He was cold, and like the fog coming out of his mouth, whenever he was singing or reading. It looked really cool actually, 'cause all the backlighting
So
coming out through
it's
the
an
fog.
outdoor venue.
Well, it's like
A
you're in a
marquee.
tent almost.
Okay.
Yeah. So
They
it's
actually
got a canopy.
it's called a big top, isn't it? That's what the venue is called. Live at the big
Is it?
top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Jamie
kind of like
Dempsey,
that,
like.
kind of like that shape, all right, but it's like a permanent structure though. And so yeah, you've got this canopy over it, and then stone walls all around it. So yeah, it's cold, but yeah, just the energy that he brings to it, and just lovely, lovely songs, great music, and just fantastic singing, and he really works the crowd really well as well, So really recommend catching a gig of his. He's got a lot of gigs coming up this month. I think a lot of them are up in Vicar Street and that. So I think, but a lot of
Yeah,
them are sold out.
he evokes this nostalgic thing that fits in well with Christmas. It's like it's just like the somehow the coming home or the family time or something like that is because as you said, when he sings, he gives it absolutely everything. In the same way, I guess, kind of sometimes, you know, that we like when you're doing a small gig like we often do, like in small bars where you are intentionally, because you're so close to the crowd and you're going to walk around them afterwards, that it's almost like you're singing directly to them. And I feel like that's the way he is at every performance he does. It's like sweat pouring out, kind of a similar way, kind of, I guess, to the legend of Christy Moore and stuff like that. Just this kind of very much connection with the crowd. It's really nice.
Well, he yeah, and his choice of songs was interesting as well. Like he sang some new ones. There's quite a few I hadn't heard before, and then like Deirdre, who was with me, she was a big fan of that song. Chris and Stevie, but he was kind of slagging himself a little bit, where he was like, they call him. He said they call him the crying man, in North Dublin. He said he's affectionately known as the crying man for his ability to make people cry with his songs, And he was like, "What a great thing to be known for!" Like, but he sang this song called "Chris and Stevie" it's about I think two childhood friends or something like that, and it's a very very sad song, So, but so good, such a beautiful song. And then he sang, yeah, there was again, like I said, some songs from Shots that he sang. I don't know. I'm giving it up. In the new year, I think is the name of the song. But it's all about like giving up, making New Year's resolutions for yourself, maybe, and maybe not in the most convincing way, because the line is like, "I'm giving it up, I swear, in the new year," and then it's like, "Until this year is gone, it's party on." So it's like you kind of start to question how sincere the thing is, because it's very very good though. Really, and like it's such a banger of a song, like real banger of a song. And another one that really snuck up on me as well, because when I heard it first, I didn't really think too much of it. I heard it many years ago. It's a song called "Apple of My Eye," and
I know it,
I never I heard it. Obviously, thought it was a fantastic song, but I never had it in my mind as like an anthem song for a gig. And but when he played it there, it really is that. It's a huge song. Like it's a really beautiful, huge song. And there's not many songs I think that pull off like serenading a city. There's a few that are good. There's a few that are bad, and his is just fucking really good. It's a beautiful song, and I think it just surprised me that song goes down so well in a crowd. And we spoke about another one that he did. It wasn't his own one. What was it? That was "School Days Over." Was another one.
I've heard
now,
him
he didn't
sing
sing
that a
it
couple
this
of times.
time.
Oh, right. Okay, sorry.
Didn't sing it this time. He changed the set. It's different. So he didn't sing that song. But again, that one surprised me because it had become another kind of a real crowd pleaser, which is like a status I hadn't really thought it would have in that context. But God, he really belts them out, and he's able to sing so high, like such high notes, with such like raw power.
With that, and keeping the accent as well. Throughout, which is I think is the most endearing thing about him is you hear the accent through it all. It's if anything, he's like I love a lot of these artists, and I think it happens a lot more now. As I was saying with the Flaming Marys, the Mary Wallopers, singing with your accent. It's something that kind of when you're younger you kind of tend not to do. You kind of sing the song as it's sang, and then slowly you kind of get used to your own kind of accent. Some people don't actually. Some people, when you go on stage, it's kind of a different voice to the one that they use on a daily basis. But I really love when I hear artists kind of leaning into their accent, especially because the Dublin accent is such a brilliant one, especially the North Dublin accent.
I think it works for some. I think it works.
North Dublin people. I love it. All you North Dubliners, I love you.
We know that, but I think it works for some accents and not others. I don't know what it is. It's about
Australian accents.
No, but I mean, like in Ireland, even I think there's some accents I really enjoy hearing come out through the songs, and you've mentioned two of them there now. We've spoken to them, Damien Dempsey and the Mary Wallopers. I think when they sing it, I think there's some accents that lend themselves a bit better, or maybe it's the way that they do it. But then when I hear other Irish accents, I think for some reason the Midlands accents, doesn't do it for me as much.
You love fucking throwing down. If it's 1 week to the next, you're throwing down on some demographic, whether it's Christy Moore fans.
I'm Midlands.
The entire Midlands.
But I'm Midlands, you see, and I don't enjoy. I just don't know. I don't get. There's not as much to it or something like that.
Do you think when you sing you don't find your I know it's a weird thing to say, but finding your own voice, as in like that you lean into another, not that you lean I don't know what I'm saying,
Cockney. I go full Cockney. That's my style. That's my singing persona is Cockney. Don't ask me to do it now because I'll just go Australian, but when I have a guitar in hand,
dirty old town.
Is it fucking
Met,
dirty time, mate?
I met my love. Oh, I'm definitely going Australia now.
Yes.
I met my love. Boy, the
Paul
guess
Hogan. Hey, is
works
that Paul Hogan?
walk.
Crocodile Dundee? Singing that?
Yeah. It feels like, as accents go, Australian one is the easiest one to do without insulting too many people. You know, there's some accents to do can be a bit like whatever cultural appropriation. I feel like there's enough British, Irish, Australians. We've sent prisoners over there. They've sent prisoners back. It's great. It's like we're a good exchange. So we're all okay with accents. Whereas
Yeah.
others might be construed to being a bit, mocking. Whereas I don't think. I think there's a healthy mocking there. I met my love. Oh, the guessworks walk. Dream the dream.
Mocking New Zealand people now, is that what you're taking aim at there?
Brew. No, that's the South African stamp.
Well, I think the people that I've met, Australians that I've met, they come across as difficult to offend. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah, there's not many that kind of back off. It's usually actually the other way around, where you're kind of hoping to tone them back.
Yeah.
I was at a basketball game yesterday, or a tournament yesterday with they call it the Zocken tournament. I know, actually, I'm not going to even investigate why they call it the sock tournament, but it's called a sock tournament. Anyway, it's for kids, and but I met a German guy there, and I don't know how I met a German guy there. I mean, living in Germany. I met another father there, and we got talking. I don't know how we got into the kind of. How do we get into the Irish? Oh, he asked me how it was when I was back in Ireland, actually, the weekend for my mother's 70th or whatever. And, small, it's still like, while I get on with these, with all the parents as well, we're still kind of pretty much at a small talk phase where it's kind of like you do surface level things to keep a conversation going, as opposed to kind of really digging deep and into each other's lives. And he lent into something that often is talked about, which is limericks. Limericks, and he talked about learning a limerick. I think we've talked about this before. Again, but I can't remember the one that you told, but this one that he told is like, I remember, like he was talking about it in a kind of very nostalgic way, and he's German, and he was talking about it in a very nostalgic way. I remember learning limerick, but I can't remember. And I was like, for me, it's like, that's fine. I'm okay with you not remembering the limerick. I have to sit through the 5 lines of your limerick and gently smile through it all, because it's like someone saying, "Oh, it's a long way to Tipperary." It's like you give the gentle smile because everyone has the. It's a
fucking hell. You fucking calling me harsh on people? Jesus, man, just wanted to fucking express himself, Andy.
Well, because I've yet to hear a limerick that I've gone banger. That's a banger now. There's a right good limerick that I love. And this one, well, it definitely had the shock value, which I wasn't expecting. So, like, the German guy, but he had every cuss word for every female part on their bodies. Just like, it was very much, there was an old lady from, I don't know,
oh God,
month. Okay. Let's say a month, and then right. And it was like It was just the darkest. Like, not that I would consider it dark, but just we were at a kids' basketball tournament. I was going to hear just gentle, light talk about things, and then when he got to the end of it, I was like, Jesus Christ! I was not expecting that limerick specifically, or any limerick, but definitely not to the level that you had brought it to. So, yeah.
How do you remember it?
So I don't remember. He remembered his one. Absolutely, wow. He remembered
Good job.
Word for word. And I won't repeat it. Neither can I remember it. But where I've given you little. I've left breadcrumbs. Piece the rest of it together yourself. However, how did I get onto that? How did I get onto the
like part? Irish stereotypes
accents.
Or
and talking about kind of So, but people singing in their own voices. Australians, not getting insulted.
Well, I mean, I don't know. It's just we were talking about like how it is nice in some accents, and I just think other accents then maybe doesn't sound as good sometimes. I think I don't want to throw out any examples that I'm thinking of, but because I've already said too much. But that's it. Oh, what else?
I guess it can be jarring as well, because I've been at open mics as well where different cultures singing cover songs. Like what was the one I was at where someone was there was an Indian guy singing Bob Dylan, and it just
Mm.
although in fairness he was singing authentically to his own accent as well. But then I guess when he tried to sing with his own accent, it jarred me a little because you have the original in your head, so it's like you're not. I guess that's the danger of doing cover songs and doing cover songs, but trying to make them your own. It's like Jesus, it needs to be a good one for it to sit well with people. Like they have to.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, if they're anyway going to make comparisons back, like to the original, then you're kind of screwed. But
Yeah. Oh,
you're
I was at a session as well actually there in the Westward Ho last Thursday, and there's
oh,
another one this coming Thursday,
I miss it
and
by a day. Damn.
there's a Christmas raffle on the Friday.
I'll be back. I'll be back in
So,
Ireland for the raffle, but I won't make it down, unfortunately. But
will
should
I buy
buy
you a
me
line?
get me five. Is five ten five for a tenner?
Yeah, 5 for tenner. You're bang on. So €2 a line.
Lovely. Oh wow, there's no offer there. What's the raffle? What are they doing the raffle for?
It's the Milford Hospice
Nice.
in Limerick, and they're doing it for that. The prizes, there's lots of prizes to be honest. Just so I don't know, but there's like these big massive posters with everyone's name who's bought a line, and they're all numbered.
Uh-huh.
So like I'd never really. I guess that's normal, but I suppose I don't have as much exposure to how raffles like that run. But it
Definitely,
means
I've
the person
grown up
organising
with it. Yeah.
has to run around with these two giant posters and write people's names down.
Well, I guess
And
it's
then
for
these
only for
are
people to come into the pub, though, isn't it? So you can only buy the ticket if you're in the pub. So it's for locals. It's a local raffle,
it's
isn't it?
yeah it seems to be. I mean, I can't imagine her like traveling salesman style going around door to door, unraveling the scroll of truth and like writing in people's names door to door. So I think it would only really work if in the setting that I saw it working, which was the pub. But again, it's like these are the sacred texts. These two posters, you can't lose these posters because
Absolutely, yeah. There's a lot of
like that's it.
well, that's how we used to do it when we had the pub as well in the shop. We, you'd have a big massive poster there, and just people would choose the number that they wanted,
Yeah,
and then, yeah, the big unveiling at some point. But
I'm looking forward to
yeah,
it though. So
it's
so we're
nice.
going on. So we're going on the 18th. We're playing a bit more music, and it's kind of a Christmassy night. And then on the Friday, then I'm going, but I'm not going playing music. We're just going having a few drinks and socializing, and hopefully win a prize. Win a prize.
Nice.
Um,
I might actually get you to throw me down for a few lines.
I will.
I
So
like, I
yeah,
like because I don't get to be in raffles. At raffles, I don't see them. You don't see them much around here. Plus, I'm also cynical when I'm not local in the raffle. I'm like,
yeah,
if this random name, unless they're doing it wheel style, where they're and I can clearly see that my number is in the hat.
right.
However, yeah.
Like,
But with your name behind it, there, I like I feel more powerful.
you've nothing to fear from the raffle in Mungret. It's legit. I've
Oh,
seen the sacred texts, so it's all good. But I do know what you mean. It's like I if I'm ever like having a drink in a pub in another parish somewhere on a night out, and somebody comes in selling lotto tickets for the local GAA, and I succumb to peer pressure and buy one. Um, there's always a thought at the back of my mind. I would hope unjustified, but it's like going, they're going to see my name, my address, and they're going like,
yeah,
not
yeah,
contacting that guy. You know
yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean?
exactly,
It's
yeah,
like
exactly.
he's not going to give
Everyone's
half back. You know?
we're all tribal, and I don't blame them. They're trying to look after their own, while
Yeah,
pillaging other neighboring
yeah.
parishes. Just it's basically it's very very not instinctual. What's the word?
It's the
Because we came
Viking.
from cavemen. Yeah,
It's the
it's
Viking
in
coming
our
out of us.
DNA. It's in the
Yeah.
DNA. Look at the notebook. It's there. And yeah,
What notebook is that now?
I was yeah. Yeah, I was reading a book in a science lesson recently to the kids. I feel like I had a terrible headache, and I just told them, I was like, guys, I have a terrible headache, so I'm going to read this book to you for the next hour and a half. But I'm not able to kind of go through the experiments that we are going to do. It was a science lesson, so I read them the book by Harari. Mm, can't think of his first name. It's called How Humans Took Over the World. I think I've shown it to you before. I've definitely shown you what it looks like, and it's just basically a story. It's a book about how humans took over the world, starting off with kind of the different types of humans and how the Homo sapiens basically got rid of all the other types of humans, Neanderthals and the Denisovians and the Floresians, the different types of humans that have been discovered around the world, and how our one is the only one that survived. And they talk a lot about kind of our DNA being the notebook that we need to check. So to check our past, you have to look up the notebook to see where kind of things have come up through the ranks, and that's where the notebook kind of thing came from. Was both my fresh memory of this God, I keep leaving little letters out of words. My fresh memory of is that, yeah, talking to them about the chapter we were on was the stories we tell, which was quite a touch and go one when you're in a crowd of mixed religions and stuff like that, and it starts talking about, the chapter is called The Stories We Tell, and it uses the story of McDonald's, trying to narrow down like what is McDonald's, and trying to figure out well, if McDonald's is burgers, like, so okay, so if we took away burgers, McDonald's wouldn't exist. And it's like, no, it exists, it will exist, and it's because we've come up with an image of a thing that makes us all follow and believe that this one thing always gives you this one product, and you can count on it for XYZ quality. But in its essence, it's just a corporations. That's actually, the chapter is on corporations and how we can cooperate. Because the essence of the book is that the human superpower is the stories we are capable of telling each other. And of course, that bleeds into religion a little bit as well, then, when the kids start asking questions. And then, of course, there's some kids in the class that are not religious, and there are some that are specific to religious. And the non-religious kids are kind of enjoying this kind of poking at like the stories that you've been told, because all the different religions in the classroom can tell their own story. And it's like their ability to follow each other. So yeah, you kind of have to, it's a delicate dance in the classroom, because you kind of have to, I want to feed the questioning of oneself, but I don't want their parents coming in going, what the fuck
Why is my
doing?
child worshipping a chicken McNugget?
Exactly.
The sacred McNugget.
Actually, saying that now, we were doing decay the week or 2 weeks before that in science, and I pulled up someone told me that there was a Burger King thing where you could watch a Burger King burger over like a timeline of 1 week, watching it. And we had pulled that. So yeah. I'm teaching a lot of science through fast food. I feel like it seems to be a common thread of fast food chains.
And religion.
One would think I'm
theology through fast food as well. That's a new one.
So how we got onto that then was, it's deep in our DNA. Why was I saying that the notebook?
Because of the lotto lines in
the fear
parishes.
And how we pillage each other's parishes. Because in that book they talked about how we still are scared at nighttime, like how white kids are scared at nighttime.
I'm not.
I know you're not. I know you're, but that's because you're a fierce warrior back in the day who would have been protecting. But for the rest of us, it's just peeing, pissing your pants. Not big boy. The fear that we have at nighttime stems from our need to be always aware at nighttime.
I'm so scared of nighttime. I go out dogging during the day. So scared of night I am.
I'm so dogger. I dog daytime. I daytime dog. That's how dog I am.
Daytime.
I think you need to flip this to the positive, not to the negative about being scared at nighttime, but how deadly doggers do it.
I dare to dog during the daytime.
Daytime saving. So in the notebook, now I'm going to get off to this point now as well, but in the DNA notebook, like it's imprinted us to be a little bit afraid at nighttime, because over years and years we've had to be afraid of nighttime, because at nighttime there are things were attacking us, and it's just inbred to us to believe monsters are there, because we need to be aware of monsters. That was a long-winded way to get to that, but anyways.
But I love all that stuff. I find that all that stuff so fascinating, like why we're scared of spiders, why we find that whole shape of a spider, and there is that thing of like the the three brains that we have, you know, depending on, and they're separated basically through basically evolutionary periods, you know. So we had the oldest part of our brain. I can't remember the names of them though, but which is like was it the reptile part of the brain? It's the oldest part of the brain basically. And then you've got the I think is it the neocortex, which is the mammal part of the brain, and then there's the latest part, which is like the human part of the brain. And they reckon that so much of this stuff, fear of the nighttime, you know, scared of certain things like spiders, smells that like the thing that of the smell of poo that repulses you so much, that sort of stuff. That's all in the deepest part of the brain where it's hardest to understand, but it's from the period in our evolutionary past where this stuff helped us to survive basically because we didn't have any logic. There was no logic built into our circuitry yet. So we just
people were just sticking their face in shit all the time back in the day until they kind of figured it out that it's like, no, we need to improve on this.
Surely there's a better way to dog than this. But you know, like, because dogs go and they'll rub themselves in shit. You know what I mean?
True. That's true.
So it's not for everyone. It's not for everyone, but it's not everyone's against it either.
It's why you shouldn't just do everything you see. Well, you should look and think, and rather than just like, oh, that dog seems to have it figured out. I think I'll try and sniff another person's asshole and see what happens.
Look before you leap into dog shit.
Exactly. If there's one thing you take from this episode, everyone.
But that is, I find that, and like that's the thing you see with cats as well. Cats, it's not, you put a cucumber behind a cat and they think it's a snake and they fucking lose their marbles. There's like videos of that online as well.
You put a cucumber behind a cat.
If you put a cucumber
sneak up
on
behind
the
a
ground,
cat.
Yeah, if you manage to place a cucumber beside a cat and then they don't see you doing it at the start, and next thing they see it, they fucking lose it, and they reckon it's because they think it's like a snake or some sort of predatory animal that's sneaking up.
I have never heard that. Also, I'm just like, I've never heard of anyone that's like, because cats are pretty aware, so you need you need to be you need to have thought of the idea and then be willing to put in the stealth like hours to sneak up on a natural predator.
Yeah. Well, this is one of the greatest things about the internet, which is spreading this type of knowledge that I'm spreading now. Go look it up. Look up videos, cats and cucumbers. It's a thing, and you will be amazed. Do you know what I found out about? Was Family Guy. Family Guy made a joke about it, and then I was like, "Is that a thing?" And then there's videos on YouTube of it.
Okay, all right.
You know, when cats doing crazy shit anyway, it's funny. This is definitely up there for that. You know. Yeah. So there you go. The Notebook.
I'm one of those funny side rabbit holes, I guess. It was kind of a rabbit hole checking out videos of cats being scared of cucumbers. I was a part of a conversation last night, and two guys got really excited because they started talking about tea and what is tea, and there was some sort of I wasn't fully in the conversation, so I was kind of drifting in and out of just what was being said.
You were cautiously hanging on the periphery to see how interesting is this conversation going to be.
Exactly. Exactly. You know, it was just but their enthusiasm, because they started talking with a lady in the conversation about tea, and she was arguing that this is tea, and then one of them was Italian, and he was like, this is not tea, and of course he's carrying himself with his Italian accent as well, which almost gives it a sense that he knows what he's talking about. And he's saying, this is not tea, X, Y, Z, and then they got into a conversation about chai and what chai is, the difference between chai and real tea. And everyone was drinking, by the way. Nobody was drinking actual tea in this. Oh no, maybe the lady was. Or the girl was. Yeah. And but the two guys realized that they both had gone down some rabbit hole when people figured out like what is the difference between chai and tea, and got so excited by both of them recognizing that they had both gone down the same rabbit hole. And whole conversation. Again, I didn't pay enough attention to really. At one stage, one of them looked over me, did you know that? And I was just kind of like, no, I never knew that. No, but I didn't have the heart to kind of go, and also I'm not really listening, because I was, you know, when you're in a conversation and you're kind of looking at everyone like you're listening, but you don't want to be called out on this at all, like, because everyone else is taking care of the conversation. You don't need to take care of the conversation.
You're there as a spectator.
A spectator that's like, you know, whatever. Yeah, no, like I love being around you guys. I'll listen to you. I'm feeding off your excitement. I'm not giving
Mm.
this the attention that you are. So luckily, I didn't get any follow up questions to that. The only thing I can think of, what I heard was chai. Chai is what came across on boats, and tea is what was taken by train or something like that. I that's no,
Surely, to God,
that's
there
me
must be.
summarizing. There was more to the conversation, I believe, but there was an argument about whether something is tea
So what
and
if you
not
get
tea.
chai and you put it onto a train?
I don't
What is
know.
it
Yeah,
then?
listen, I like that.
Yeah, I know.
That's so. If anyone that was within that conversation with me is listening, I apologize.
Yeah,
I am. I was interested. I was more interested in the argument that was happening because
yeah,
they were so passionate about like
yeah.
something not being tea, and then of course like we have um, the lady was of German origin and quite bullish in being right in her own way as well. So it was quite
Nobody was backing
it was
down.
nice. Nobody was backing down. It was a
That's good.
it
That's what you
was
want.
a solid face
That's
off.
good.
But
Like that was
yeah,
kind of a mini European Union kind of thing that you had
it
going on
was
there.
well. It
So
was yeah. There was two Germans, an Italian, and an Irish guy. So
yeah,
it
very
was
good.
we had more Italians than Americans on the peripheries of that conversation. Then maybe there was a French person. I think further if we had to go further left if we needed more input. So
Mm.
yeah, quite the
I I think if you choose to talk about tea, you run the risk of having people involved in the conversation who are not listening.
yeah.
That's a risk, I think.
Yeah, so no, we had a nice got this nice we had food we had people over for food last night, so we got this nice bottle of something that says it doesn't say it's wine, it doesn't say anything on it apart from Merry Christmas in what seems to be a wine bottle. Um I don't know. I don't think it's 14% something. So but
Merry Christmas.
it just says Merry Christmas on the bottle. So yeah, I'm sure it's gonna be
Ah, excellent.
delish.
I know somebody who got a present from another bloke, from an old. He was an he's an older generation, and that crew would have always given each other a bottle of whiskey, at Christmas or whatever. Like, and just here's a bottle of whiskey, and but it would always be like Jameson or Powers or whatever. Like, at the time there was only like three whiskeys in Ireland. Like there was Jameson, there was Powers, and there was what's it? You should know
Paddy.
this one, Paddy. So that that's the norm. And then one one year, like this guy's a bachelor, or whatever, no, or no, whatever. One year he rocked up and there was some whiskey gone out of the bottle. Even though it was a known brand whiskey, but there was some whiskey gone out, but it was opened, right? And like nobody says anything because it's like whatever. And then another, but you could tell he was beginning to lose interest in this whole charade, and then the following year, I think he rocked up with a bottle and it just said whiskey on it. Just had a label that said whiskey. It was none of the known brands, all just whiskey. White label, black writing.
Oh Lord! Oh God! You're not serious.
Okay, this guy's he's tapped out of this now. He's not interested anymore.
No. We
So
had nice whiskeys here last night. Someone did bring a bottle of Jameson, and someone brought a Japanese whiskey as well. So nicely,
Japanese are getting into their whiskey, aren't they?
they're in. They're. If anything, it's. I think, as far as I know, it's a hard market to get whiskey in now because so many people were buying Japanese whiskeys at one point. They were just the Japanese were all in, and then it was very difficult to get Japanese whiskey because it was in. It was an in whisk. So yeah.
In whisk.
And in whisk. Yeah, there you go. Listen, it's all whiskey talk. The way connoisseurs over here.
Time is money.
I was at a gig this week as well.
Well, actually, do you mind if we roll back a little bit because
Go on,
you
let's roll it back.
never really covered the gig that you had in Posh Techno.
I think enough time has passed, but I don't have any recordings for it. So if I ever pull out any of those recordings,
Right.
I will. So I'm not too worried about it. It's safe to say it was like I think I said this to you in person. It was a Sunday night, so I think it was the smallest crowd we've had. It was like there wasn't nobody. If that's what you're thinking, it wasn't nobody.
That's what I was thinking.
But yeah, it was a Sunday night. It was horrible weather. We had Gianberto, or AKA Gilberto, playing some Italian folk music with a lady that I haven't heard. I think she was actually at the first time we ever played with Pizzicati. but they were beautiful. They really sang nicely, and then we played our set as well. But yeah, it had all the feel of just everyone was done. Like, and I definitely think now that unless yeah, Sunday evenings, the pub gig, it's different. I think if it's like you're paying for a ticket to go to a concert, but like the casual Sunday night, I think everyone's done. Like the ideal is like Wednesday, Thursday, because the weekend is upon you, so people are feeling energized. Friday, Saturday, because it is the weekend. But by Sunday, the weather was horrible. We were all tired. We were all kind of waiting around for the gig. So just a learning, um, what's the word? A learning moment in
Right.
terms of when to play a gig. But it was nice. It was nice, and we got to jam out a few songs before Christmas, and we played. What did we play for a finish in the end? I could probably get the recording of that. We tried to do a joining together of "Dirty Old Town" and the band played "Waltzing Matilda." They were the two songs that we had arranged to play, but we had no practice, And I think I said this to you already, yeah, that we had zero practice in that. So I'll have a recording for that. The singer kind of was doing a canon kind of thing for "Dirty Old Town," like, "I met my love," and she was like, "I met my love." So I don't know how that turned out, but I'll have it for you next week or at some point.
Very good.
But the gig I
Very good.
was at this week was a gig that many people craved. Met many Irish people at this gig who had travelled to Berlin specifically because this band is back together and on tour, possibly for the last time. Although he
Okay.
himself is not has not stopped recording and making art and different music. However, I'm sure he was someone that was part of your teenage years. Ed, can you hazard a guess as to who's back on tour? Who would connect in? So it's not the Smashing Pumpkins, but for me, that's the closest I can kind of type of melancholic, amazing musicians tapping into teenage angst.
Mm.
You've definitely played, definitely, yeah, you because I saw you at what I think was kind of a religious festival concert thing where you were playing
Mm.
with your band, which I think were called the Bucks at the time, and you played one of their songs. Not the song that they play so often themselves anymore because it's been associated with real teenage kind of nobody likes me. I'm an outcast. What's the song?
Summer of '69 by Brian Adams.
What's a song that screams nobody likes me? I'm different to everyone else.
My suffering is real.
But somehow united. If we all sing this, we are all fucked up, and we are all. It's actually literally the lyric is
Is it
I'm a
Weezer? Oh,
weirdo.
Radiohead. Tom,
Radiohead.
Tom York.
Tom York and Radiohead. I went to see
Oh,
Radiohead. I went to like a lot of people wanted like it's they've been touring Europe and been pretty hard to get tickets. I did absolutely nothing, and thank you all to the people who are actually I think the lads that bought the tickets don't even listen, but thank you all to the people. I did zero for these tickets that everybody wanted. You had to kind of sign up to a pre-booking thing, and then once you made it through the pre-booking thing, you had to be online the moment these tickets kicked in, and then you had to
mm.
buy your tickets immediately, and it sounded all very stressful, and I had to do zero for it, and I got to experience what I would say is the first time I've ever really listened to Radiohead was at
Oh,
a
okay.
live concert, and I've never ever been into them at all. Um, but obviously you can't not be aware of the songs. But like if you had, it's only being at the concert. I'm like, I know that song. That's a Radiohead song. Um, but they have some super fan followings. Um,
Oh God,
people
yeah, big time.
people are really fucking into it. Um, and yeah, it was on the Uber Eats Arena, so like big arena concerts, so stage in the center, and so they were playing to the 360. Um, I'm told the sound wasn't very good. It's like hard for me to tell when I don't. I guess I should know when I'm at a concert whether like, oh, the sound is not great here. But because it's kind of I don't want to say it's whiny music because it's not actually. It's not all whiny music. It's like, and when I say whiny music, it's just like because it's tapping into. I kept having to think about when I was 17, 18. I was like, okay, I can get this. This is very relatable kind of feeling and music. And I'm sure lots of people that go to these concerts are still kind of can tap into their younger self, whether they would kind of stick it on now with the same ferv, without having, you know what I mean, without having that nostalgia. Whereas you can see like there was kind of teenagers and we'll say young people at this concert who once again can tap into that Radiohead feeling for themselves at the age they're at, whereas as an older person you're tapping into it from a place of nostalgia rather than experiencing right now. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think it does. Yeah.
And anyway, so they were very good. 360 concerts, kind of annoying sometimes when he's playing to the other side. And then you just have to watch the screen because it doesn't really feel like you're watching him, and you're kind of looking up at the screen and then looking down at him, and you're like, okay, I can see the back of him doing this motion, but like, you want to be able to, you want to look into the eyes of your person. The Damien Dempsey experience, where you feel like he's singing directly to you. But it's hard to do that in a stadium full of like whatever, I don't know what it holds, maybe 20,000 people. And yeah, it was but excellent set. I couldn't tell you what the set was, but I can tell. Yeah, but
was
it was
the
all
stage
very nice.
Was the stage rotating?
No,
was it
he
just
would walk around. He had microphone set on our side. He had the piano, and he played a lot of what I would consider his what some people told me like his newer stuff, which is more kind of African. African beats is probably the wrong way, but just it's very like UK. Okay, no, I'm throwing myself into genres here that I don't understand, but I'm going to say UK house, drum and bass, hip hop.
Right. Okay.
You with me? Yes.
I think I am.
He's quite an entertaining dancer, actually, which I wasn't imagining. I was imagining a Tom York to be a very placid kind of stares and just sings kind of whiny into the microphone for a while. I keep saying whiny. I've got to stop. That's very derogatory or very negative because it was a really good concert. But yeah, he's a good dancer. He's an interesting dancer. It's like watching him dance. It's like, oh, wow, this guy, I don't even know how, I meant to look up before this how old he is, but I still don't know. But just, yeah, oldish enough guy, I guess a bit older than us. Maybe he's got 10 years on us, maybe 20, and still dancing away like a...
For sure.
Yeah, he's still got a funky dance. He's got a dance that wouldn't be lost on a young 19-year-old at their first Major Lazer concert.
Major Lazer.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
Yeah. So that's and yeah. Go on.
Was so it was obviously sold out then. I guess.
It was very much sold out. Yes.
I don't remember playing their stuff because I wasn't huge into Radiohead either, to be honest with you. A lot of our friends were. I wasn't huge into Radiohead.
I'm fairly sure it was you. I can, because the drummer that you had at that time, I can remember him on stage.
I know who you're thinking of. You're thinking of our friend who. Well, I'll just say you're thinking of our friend Alan.
Yeah,
he played,
and it was in Roscrea.
It was in Roscrea. He played with two other people there at that. There is that. I don't know what it is. Is it a monastery or something like that? Yeah.
It was a retreat, kind of a youth festival
they played
retreat.
2 songs. They played "Creep" and they played another one. I can't remember what it was.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. But no,
if I remember correctly, something went wrong with "Creep" as well. I must ask Alan. Can you remember that? But anyways, yeah, they didn't play "Creep." They played one song which you like. Do you know any of their songs?
I'd know a few. I suppose "Karma Police" would be another one.
Have you heard of a song?
Really old ones.
Have you? Do you know a song like something about like the theme song at the end of a movie or something? It's got a funny title to it.
No.
Oh fuck it! No, I should. Another thing that I should have.
The one I know, like when I like I remember their music videos. I remember their music videos being quite interesting and good. And there was one where Tom York had his head in a bowl, a glass bowl, and it was just filling with water. And it used to always stress me out just watching him be submerged in water, just his head. And then it would empty, and he'd sing the chorus of the song. Do you remember that?
No, I know nothing.
Do you not?
No, nothing.
Man,
zero.
That's cool,
zero.
Yeah.
Apart from Creep and they exist. Like an OK Computer. It's an album cover that's in my head, and I also because I have the tape for some reason I came into possession of the tape of OK Computer. But again, I haven't given it. It's the conscious listening as well, and sitting down, which was nice as a concert. It was like my first time to consciously listen to Radiohead, because you have to kind of just sit down and so it was really nice. And they played. I looked up the songs because I know we're going to run out of time, so I'll just tell you this quick story. Really nice concert. Fucking memorabilia is expensive. Jesus, €50 for a t-shirt, €90 for a hoodie, €130 for a nice jumper. And then I think it was 150 or 180 if you wanted to buy one of their rain jackets.
Jesus.
The artwork is amazing. And I believe Tom York does a lot of the artwork himself. Like, I know we have a book here of Tom York's art. So I think he's kind of, he's across the board in terms of like his creativity and stuff like creativity.
I prefer his book of like self portraits called exclusively on his bum. It's called Tom York's Arse. I thought that was good. Sorry, go on.
In any case, so anyway, this song. So again, I don't know any of the songs that's coming on, but like they start playing something like he picks up the acoustic guitar or something like that, and he just hits a couple of strings like ding, 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 and then slowly the crowd realizes what's going to be played. Like, because he's got such a huge amount of music to pull from. His set lists have been different for every concert, and he's not playing like it's pretty amazing. He played for 2.5 hours, 28 songs, I think someone told me yesterday, and like the set list is almost completely different to the next night because they just have so many hits. Anyway, I started playing this music, and crowd are like whatever. So and then the guy in front of me. The song is called "Exit Music for a Movie." Jesus Christ, exit music for a movie. In brackets for a movie. And so the guy in front of me started getting like, I could see his shoulder starting to rock a little bit, like he's like bouncing up and down. But like immediately I was like, oh, he looks like he's crying. So anyway, I continued watching because we were in the seated area as well. We weren't down in the standing area. Another thing which I really appreciate, which is seats. Even though everyone stands up straight away the second the concert started, seats were pointless. We all stood up.
Yeah.
But I was that old guy in the middle of it at some points, just sitting down and looking through people, the gaps in people's things. Like, I'm sitting down, my back is hurting me.
See the guy's balls. I see you, Tom York.
Because it's not easy. Like, it's different. I think I said this before. If I'm dancing at a gig, I can stay going. Like, I can stay. But like, if you're just standing there, and a lot of their music is swaying to like the emotion.
Your lower back. It'll just wreak havoc on your lower back.
Honest to God. But anyways, I'm very conscious of time. This song started, saw his shoulders bopping, and I was like, okay, I think he's crying. And then I kind of implored Pauline. I was like, look, I think he's crying. And then, lo and behold, he was like, he was wiping his eyes, and he was just convulsions crying, like, and then I kind of was really like, in the moment, I was like, oh, there's something really sweet about that. Of course, like this music coupled with like, the death of a family member, death of a friend at that time, it can just lock in this memory. I know I have the same thing for actually an Aerosmith song, because I remember getting a message of a good friend dying while I was at an Aerosmith concert. But I'm not a huge fan anymore, but like, what's the song called? Dream On. And like the song now just fucking evokes immediately. When I hear Dream On, I think of him. And when I heard, and the fact that I got the message that he had died while watching this song come on, it's just, anyway, very powerful. So I can relate to it, and I actually thought of him in that moment as well, my own kind of thing. The guy was bawling, crying, and his girlfriend, I could see his girlfriend putting her arm around him, just like, whatever, like, it's all right. But next thing, and if you can't see what I'm doing with the camera right now, you just have to imagine a mobile phone just panning over her own shoulder to point directly at his face while he sobbed crying. She was recording his tears and her being emotionally connected to him while this thing is on. Then she would slowly pan the camera to Radiohead, and as I turn my hand on the camera here, and then pan back to him, and he's still like jerking with tears, and she's just like smiling, but also like showing that she cares, but getting every fucking moment on fucking video. And I'm like, God. And I was talking to a good friend, and I've got about 20 seconds to do this, so we can chat about it in the next episode, but like, there is no way that in any scenario where you can say like, I'm doing this because every kind of place you explore about why she is recording this is a fucking sad and sick fucking thing. Doesn't matter. Like, it's content. It's because she's not thinking. It's like, how are you not fucking thinking? You're 30. This woman was like 30, 35 years old. So anyway, sign of the times, man.
a fucking sad, depressing sign of the times.
Absolutely. I'm going to play the outro music and we can talk to it. But
bitch a bit
what do you
more.
call it?
It's fucking
exactly.
Jesus.
It was weird, and it's just
That's going to be posted.
Phones are another thing as well. As I'm sure you had at the Dempsey. Sometimes you can't help it. You have to try and bury the hatred of phones at concerts.
There wasn't that much. No,
Good.
there wasn't
I'm
that many
so glad.
phones out recording. A few, like, but not many. No.
Yeah.
So no, not that many. It was okay. But like, God, that's like. Then you start to wonder: are your man's tears manufactured as well? Did they
I know.
pre-arrange all
3
this?
3 seconds, Ed. Love you, man. Bye, everyone.